Good evening and welcome to the LIT Gaelic Grounds here in Limerick. You're here for the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash of the All-Ireland champions of the past 2 years. Limerick kicking off their campaign tonight, and Tipperary, of course, defeated by Clare in McDonagh Park last weekend. Sizable enough crowd here this evening. Thankfully, the fog, which has blanketed quite a lot of Munster throughout the course of the afternoon, has stayed away for the moment this evening. Latest we're hearing though from Mallow is the clash of Cork and Kerry down there has been delayed, as the Kerry team bus has been delayed en route from the Kingdom due to the fog in the area, and we'll keep you updated on that in the course of the evening. Anthony Daly is joining us here on co-commentary duty this evening. We'll be hearing from him in a few moments' time as we look through the teams. But before we get into the match itself tonight, we're going to hear from the two camps. We're going to hear from Dara Egan, Tipperary selector. But first, the Limerick manager, John Kiley, who was speaking at the launch of the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League here in Limerick 2 weeks ago.
John Kiley, I suppose, look, it's December, it's the start of the Munster Senior Hurling League. People's appetite for hurling, there's been that bit of starvation of inter-county scene. It's going to get satisfied fairly soon with the start of this. You must be looking forward to it.
Yeah, I suppose with the conclusion of the club championships and the Munster club championships, people are looking forward, and teams have gone back training now the last week or two, and it's all eyes to the future and to 2020 really, so before the National Hurling League starts in end of January, we need a few games to get built up, and no better way than a competition like this. Co-op Superstores have been involved for a number of years now, and I think people have bought into the competition, and every county has a representation in it. And it can be a launch pad. We saw that ourselves in 2017-18. We won that competition, and it gave us a bit of confidence at the time, and it gave us a bit of a launch pad to leapfrog into the Alliance Hurling League, and we carried it on from there. So momentum is an amazing thing, and wherever you'll get it, you'll take it.
I suppose, John, I remember a few weeks back at a medal presentation where you said you wanted the players to bottle the hurt from last year. That motivating factor, how do you harness that, or how do you work on that in the off season?
Well, to be honest with you, we've tried to leave the players as much space as possible with their clubs since we exited the championship this year. We're back in training now with the last week, just over a week now, and really enjoying it. You can see the appetite is there, you can see the hunger is there. The approach to training has been really, really good. The attitude is very, very good, and we're enjoying it as well. Because you miss it when you're not there, and I think everybody was really, really happy to get back in the training field and just get down to the hard work that has to be done now over the next number of months.
John, Tip and Clare, first up, good early season tests for yourselves.
Yeah, I suppose both counties will have new players coming into their panels, like Tipper All-Ireland under-20 hurling champions. So they've got a lot of talent to draw on there. Very impressive team, managed by Liam Cahill. They'll obviously want to give guys a game time, and we'll be the same. We've got guys that we want to give more game time to, and we look forward to giving them that opportunity to shine and to show us maybe something of what they might be able to offer during the course of the season. And I think it's great for the fans as well, because I think the fans miss the games. Knowing my own circle at home, they're busting to get going. Like, they want to get back on the road again. They want to get going to matches, and seeing these new players and seeing the lads that have been maybe been out injured or whatnot over the last while. So yeah, I think everybody just wants to get back up and running, and that's going to happen really quickly over the course of the next month or two.
John Kiley, I suppose, look, it's December, it's the start of the Munster Senior Hurling League. People's appetite for hurling, there's been that bit of starvation of inter-county scene. I suppose one of the things John Kiley mentioned was it's the team that improves in the off-season. I suppose as All-Ireland champions, it's very easy, sitting on your laurels isn't an option either. You have to look for that extra couple of percent in the off-season for 2020.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, if we do exactly what we did in 2019, we're going to come up short, be it in the Munster League, the National League, or the Munster Championship. We are just going to have to improve. 2019 is parked now in our eyes. We got our medals in Templemore there 2 weeks ago, so we really are looking forward to 2020, and we have an ultra competitive, never mind Munster League, we have an ultra competitive Munster Championship coming. You look at Liam Cahill gone to Waterford. you have Kieran Kingston and Cork, you have Brian Lohan and Clare. Them teams are going to get a bounce. So if we continue to do what we did in 2019, we're just going to come up short. So it's a great challenge. It's a brilliant challenge for our players, number one, and for us as coaches with the Tipperary senior hurling team. It's an ideal challenge for us to improve, look for a better edge, look for more of an edge, and I suppose become more maybe tactically flexible and improve every day we go out. So really looking forward to that.
And how does that process work? I suppose as a member of the backroom team, do you sit down with other members of the backroom team, review, see where the trends of the game might be going, or how you can come back next year stronger or better? Talk us through a bit of that.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we would have carried out a review in 2019 as a coaching team. There are certain things we need to improve on. We will be looking at them over the course of the next few weeks. Also, I suppose the holiday is a nice little bit of 10 days downtime, and we'll be just looking forward throughout the Munster League to get ready for the National League on areas we need to improve on. Will the 15 that started the All-Ireland final start the first round of the National League or start the first round of the Munster Championship? I'd nearly say no. So we're going to need to find a few players also, and we're looking forward. We're looking forward to approaching that. And as I said, as coaches, we are really looking forward to the challenge of 2020.
I suppose how important is it for Tipperary that they keep that management and coaching team in place, so we have that continuity?
Yeah, very important. Look, we had a great working relationship last year. Liam steers the ship. I suppose myself, Tommy and Eamon do the bulk of the coaching, along with Kerber, our strength and conditioning lead. So it's very important that we stay together. It's very important that we, I suppose, are on the similar lines of thinking, and that's the plan going ahead for 2020 again. As I said, we have to improve as a coaching team. We have to improve. We have to be more tactically aware. We need to know our players even a bit better. I suppose this time last year we were really focusing on the strength and conditioning aspect of our players. Now our coaching strategies might change a small bit because the players have a good bulk of work in, and we need to stretch the barriers in certain areas of the game, and that's what we intend to do.
And welcome back to the LIT Gaelic Grounds for this Munster Senior Hurling League clash of Tipperary and Limerick. Delighted to have Anthony Daly here alongside me this evening. Anthony, referee Tom Walsh of Waterford trying to get the teams to come in there from their pre-match warm-ups. No changes on the sides. We're going to take a quick look on our graphics there. Limerick first up. Two names, Richie English and Dan Morrissey. They're the only survivors from last year's All-Ireland, last season's All-Ireland semi-final defeat to Kilkenny. So kind of an experimental night.
In a nice sort of way, you know what I mean? I mean, the likes of Tom Condon is around for years, and obviously Paddy O'Loughlin played most of last year. The Barry Nash thing at number 6, interesting. Really the only two that I can see that are really getting their first. The 3 maybe would be Aaron Costello, but he's been on the panel. Ronan Connolly, who's a great bit of stuff. You could play him corner back, corner forward. He's playing midfield tonight. And Darren O'Connell from Kildimo, who is a real pacey player, very good minor, and has played great stuff at club. But they're all surrounded by, you look at Darren O'Connell, Adrian Breen from the Piercing, full of experience, Ireland club, Munster clubs. Shemmy Flanagan is full forward. So, in every line, there's strong guys. Darragh Donovan wing forward, Conor Boylan the other wing, and David Reedy in the centre. So it's fairly strong from a Limerick point of view.
Fairly strong as well from a Tipperary perspective. Just 2 or 3 changes, a few positional and a few new faces coming in for Tipperary. Interesting one that I'm looking forward to seeing because I've heard so much about him. That's young Brian McGrath, fullback.
Yeah, again now, like a superb minor, and I would have watched the game last week, and obviously Ronan Maher was outstanding at fullback once he was moved there last year. But like Brian, obviously the pedigree is savage. Now he has been seriously troubled, Colin, by injuries. He's been very unlucky. I know he's in UL and he's been awful unlucky he's been hitting these injuries just at the wrong time, but really looking forward if he can get a good run. Really liked Craig Morgan, I have to say, last year's under 20 captain, and right up along, bit of experimentation up along, but you see the likes of Michael Breen, Barry Heffernan, John McGrath coming back in tonight. So Jason Ford, superb last Sunday against
14
Clare.
points.
On fire. Like I couldn't actually believe it. I was watching it and I was saying, Jeannie Mac, Ford is as sharp as you'll see. So obviously the managers are giving certain messages to certain guys. A fella like Shemmy Flanagan, who would have been one of the stars of 18, didn't really, nail down his place last year. And I suppose John Kiley would be saying to him, Shemmy, it starts now. you want to establish yourself now back in there as a first teamer, you go and do it. And I suppose the same message from Liam Sheedy with these guys, because a lot of these underage guys with 20 All-Ireland, 21 All-Irelands and minor All-Irelands, you know, the likes of Jerome Cahill, let's say, you know, superb last year, and he'd really be saying, I want to be on this team. So that's what makes these nights fascinating. For the likes of a John McGrath, he knows he'll be there, he's willing to put in the shift for Tip tonight, but it's the younger guys. This is as big a night for them. It's a long time since I started on days like this, but you know, when you're 19, 20, 21 and you're getting a chance to start, and this is your shop window, Colm, so you have to take these opportunities.
Okay, and a very different attitude as well to these competitions now, Anthony. In comparison to, we'll say, when you started off playing, we won't mention any years or anything like that, but in the last 2 or 3 years, possibly because of the fact that the leagues are starting earlier, competitions like a Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League, we're seeing the same with the O'Byrne Cup, McKenna Cup, etc., being treated so much differently.
Yeah, well, Colm, like that's coming right back from your championship, you know. Your All-Ireland now is the second last Sunday in August, and we have the Munster League now and the Leinster League, so your National League is condensed, everything is condensed. So these competitions now take on more significance for guys, as I said, who are trying to establish themselves, trying to lay down a marker to say, I want to be in there. Because you know, the league, I know, has changed this year, so we'll see what way that pans out. We don't know. It's a little bit diluted from what we were used to with the 1A and 1B. It's kind of all in together now, so there will be maybe some games you can experiment, but under the old system, like we said, the last 2 years, with the Munster Championship being on a league basis and the National League being cutthroat, you know, that was really savage. It might be a bit different this year. Time will tell, I suppose, really. But nights like this are important, and you can see by, you know, I know the far side isn't, but there's a fine crowd in here under the stand, like, and all anxious to see who's going well, who's putting the best foot forward.
And you know, you were even mentioning there a few moments ago, Anthony, as the teams were warming up, like Tommy Dunn out in the field there. Just you'd swear it was the middle of May in a Munster Championship game.
Yeah, well, he's there warming up with Paul Maher, like he's doing the puck outs and moving, and yeah, I wouldn't still like to be on Tommy. I never really liked marking him, but I wouldn't like to be on him even now, and I certainly wouldn't like to be on him now, Colm. There'd be only one winner. But yeah, like you know, they're due to go off on their holidays, obviously, so they'll enjoy that, but they know that they can't fall that far behind like you could years ago maybe and make it up.
Okay, now we're going to take a break for the national anthem. Sizable round of applause there will tell you the sizable crowd that's here in the LIT Gaelic Grounds for this evening's Munster Senior Hurling Clash, Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash between Limerick and Tipperary, All-Ireland champions of the past 2 years. The game being broadcast live on the Irish Examiner's website in conjunction with the Munster Council and with the Co-op Superstores. So plenty of excitement expected over the next hour or so, and hopefully these two lads will deliver tonight in the same way that Clare and Tipperary did down in Nina last weekend. First sideline of the game is going to Dan Morrissey down there. Dan, the man from Ahan, one of two players who featured in that defeat to Kilkenny in Croke Park. Hard to believe just a couple of months ago in an All-Ireland semi-final. Hard to believe tomorrow is the shortest day of the year, and here we are with top-class hurling with Mark Kehoe, who impressed so much there last weekend. Good effort from him, but just gone to the left of Barry Hennessy's post and got wide. Hennessy understudy to Nicky Quaid, able operator, has played some championship for Limerick in the past, and a fine puck out by him all the way down as far as Darragh O'Donovan. First time ball in there towards the cornerback, Craig Morgan, who impressed Anthony last weekend down in Nina. It's kind of furrowed out to a Tipperary man, and that man that's coming out there looks to be the centre back, wing back. Was it Alan Flynn, I think? And his delivery though is a bit of a hit and hope one, and Limerick scrambling back on the far side there, trying to get it out. And it's in the end it's Robbie Hanley who's going to go route one towards the edge of the exclusion zone, kind of bounces off the fingers of Darren O'Connell, making his debut tonight. Tipperary, and again, so cool, so calm under pressure, out to Willie Connors. Good to see Willie here. Looked like he'd pulled a hammer last weekend, but he's had a great ball by Willie in towards the full forward line. Went in over the centre back Barry Nash, and right into the corner. Opted to go back out. Runner though that's coming is the wing back there, Robert Byrne, with the distinctive red helmet. There's Byrne from 45 yards out, and that should have been the opening score of the game, but the umpire has waved that one wide. Two wides there in quick succession for Tipperary. David Reedy gone first time in towards O'Connell. It's the second time we've seen a nice little bit of skill from Darren off his right. Has it got the accuracy? That's a fine score, Anthony.
That's a great score, and like Tip have had two great chances from Mark Kehoe and Robert Byrne and missed them, and that's Limerick first sighted goal. And Darren O'Connell, Morgan has been out in front of him for the first couple of balls, but he got in front that time and took his chance very well. And he's all pace, he's all movement. Very crowded in the middle as we expected. These two don't really do challenge matches or Munster League games. Colum, they don't. They don't do anything soft between each other. They go at it every time.
Jerome Cahill getting the shot off the left, and that was a fine score from Jerome, who of course played last weekend, was playing out in the wing. Willie Connors was in the corner. The two of those have swapped this time. And
interesting to see him inside and operating kind of in an orthodox inside position. I thought he'd maybe play inside to come out, and like Limerick usually crowd the middle, I thought he'd be the man to come out, but he's playing kind of natural enough corner forward, has great pace.
A perfect night though, a night like this, Anthony, to work on those things, if you want to move your corner forward out to centre forward, wing forward, etc. Just as we were watching that, by the way, Michael Breen sending it wide. That's 3 in a row there now for Tipperary.
Yeah, and look, they obviously, it's all about, Brian Lohan said it last week, I saw the interview with yourself and himself afterwards, that you will be judged on championship, but these are your chances maybe to have a look at lads and see, can a guy do a job? And you're looking at him against the likes of Barry Heffernan play now, so if he can match up to him, you're at a fair standard there, and if you can carry on from there, you have something to work with.
Tip, obviously an embarrassment of riches at centre back, as we were seeing there with Barry Heffernan. Great effort coming in here there from Kehoe. Well blocked though. Kehoe rebounds back to him, and on this occasion he has found the target. Second time of asking for him, but just shows. Ger Cunningham was talking about Mark's pace last week in action for UCC, and he got on the Honda 50 there.
He did, and it was a half a goal chance, but a superb intervention by Aaron Cunningham. You'd have to say Cullum got across and prevented the goal shot, but Kehoe stuck with it and got his chance and took it really well.
Okay, David Reedy unlucky there, was trying to funnel a pass, but was held up, and it's kind of stuck in there between 2 or 3 lads, and it's Darragh O'Donovan that eventually gets it away. Looks to be McGrath that's coming out on this occasion, out to his centre back Heffernan, who's impressed in the opening few minutes here tonight, Anthony, and a great delivery there in towards the full forward. That man we were talking about a little earlier, Jason Ford, 14 points from him last week, out to Willie Connors. Lovely style by Connors, unfortunately, after doing all the hard work. can't complete the deal.
Absolutely beautiful move. Alan Flynn, beautiful crossfield ball. Jason Ford sort of operating in the corner. They're interchanging in there. Set up Willie Connor superbly, but just tailed wide. I suppose maybe a winter shot in some ways.
Had done all the hard work out with David Reedy. Has gotten on the ball a couple of times in the opening 5 minutes here this afternoon. Opts to go back to Paddy O'Loughlin, and O'Loughlin has offloaded it out there. We've got Shamie Flanagan making ground there on the far side. Great ball across. Well defended, and Paul Maher, the goalkeeper, who impressed last week against Clare, off his line pretty quickly there, spotted the danger, and out come Tipperary here. And that's a bad ball. Adrian Breen, the man from Napirsig, claiming it from 45 yards. Should be over. No, another wide. Not a night for the forward so far, Anthony. Maybe there is a semblance of that fog out there.
Yeah, and Adrian Breen probably by his own standard, same as Willie, would be expecting to score that. But half a chance of a goal there because of a mishit attempt at a point by Shamie Flanagan. Darren O'Connell, if he got any kind of a hurley to it, but Morgan did well cornerback, and Maher was very quick off his line.
Okay, bad collision there. It's David Reedy who's gone to ground following a clash there with Barry Heffernan. Nothing malicious in it. I think it was just a coming together, as they say out around West Clare, as you know only too well. And
sensible refereeing as well, Colin,
yeah, and that was the one thing we were saying as well too, with the standard of refereeing by Colm Lyons last week as well too in Nina. This time of the year.
That's it. You can be a little bit off, you can be a little bit late, once there's nothing sinister involved, and there wasn't anything there. It was just missed time by Barry Heffernan.
David Reedy, Drummond Atlaka, played a season, was it, with Kildare?
Sure did, under Joe Quaid, yeah.
And is back in harness and back wearing Limerick colours, and put that one straight between the posts, and that should bring it all square. 2 points apiece here in the LIT Gaelic grounds and the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash. The game being broadcast on the Irish Examiner's website, on Facebook Live, and on the Munster Council's website as well. If you are watching around the world, we'd love to hear your thoughts, your opinions, even say hello. And lovely piece of skill there. Ball fed back to Robbie Hanley. Darragh O'Donovan was the man that flicked it back, and Hanley's effort trailing well wide, but delightful piece of skill. And we've seen a couple of moments like that so far in the game.
Darragh O'Donovan, obviously huge talking point last year. His sideline ball that was deflected, but wasn't deflected. But he's plenty of experience there, wing forward, showing all the class.
John McGrath, great ball by him in as far as Keogh, and that's a fantastic ball in towards Keogh. What a save by the goalkeeper, Hennessy, got down so quickly and saved it out. Paul Flynn, should I say, getting the shot off in the end. But that was great reflexes by the goalkeeper, Hennessy from Kilmallock, to get down to deny Flynn the corner forward. And as we saw last week, Anthony, the importance of goals.
Yeah,
Clare got them.
Yeah. Watching the game last week, was in Dublin. Would have loved to have been there, no, Colin, but just Tip seemed to do all the hurling in the first half, but Clare got the crucial goals, and then Clare had that bit of momentum on the home stretch and got over the line. It was a great win, great start for Brian, but Tip have a couple of goal chances created so far. It'd be a bit worrying for John Kiley that the way they're finding space up there, a little bit worrying.
Craig Morgan impressed last week and has caught the eye for Anthony as well too tonight at cornerback. This time though it's Dan Morrissey out to his centre back Barry Nash. Good ball to Darragh O'Donovan, brought to ground, forced to offload, but only as far as Jason Ford. Ford a long way from his usual posting. Seems to be kind of a rude one effort a couple of times there from Tipperary. I don't know, is that by accident or is it by design? Richie English out at the edge of the exclusion zone, a little dance left, dance right, gets it out to his centre back to Barry Nash, and from South Liberties wearing the distinctive red helmet. Two players down on the ground, a clash of heads, was it?
Yeah, I think he probably stopped the play as well, Colin. Should do, yeah.
Adrian
good
Breen is one
again.
of them, and I think it looks to be Joe Dwyer killing all.
Yeah.
I think, Anthony,
Absolutely.
the eyes were on the ball. Two lads literally ran straight into one another, but of course with head injuries at any time, safety first.
It just caught my side vision, obviously following the ball, Colin, but the two lads didn't even see each other. I think Adrian was trying to get across to the top of the left, and
it looked to be Joe
Dwyer
yeah.
was coming across to cover this side, and they just banged into each other, and Yeah, sensible again from Tomas Walsh to
Yeah.
just stop it and make sure everything's okay.
No, Adrian seems to have gotten back to his feet, but Joe is still down on the ground receiving treatment. But as you said, good sensible refereeing by Tom Walsh, the match official from Waterford this evening. Just to say as well too, a delay in the other game down in Mallow this evening between Cork and Kerry. Fog extremely bad in Kerry and in Cork, and the Kerry bus delayed en route to Mallow. So we're going to keep you updated on the news from Trace O'Callaghan, who's down there for us this evening.
Will they get back to karaoke, Colm, do you think?
I'm sure the hospitality in Cork tonight will be welcome and will be put on offer. Want to mention as well too a man we were talking about a little earlier, given that there's medical treatment coming out onto the field, Dr. Con Murphy, who retired as a GP today. A man you would know well, Anthony?
Oh yeah, absolutely a great friend and a great, anytime we were in Cork, we'd meet Con, and anytime we have a match, whether it be colleges, he was a great UCC man obviously as well. So yeah, fantastic guy. Remember I had a long-term back injury starting out my career. I didn't train for about 3 months, and I'd seen a load of specialists, and eventually I went down to Con and put up on the table, and he had a look at me and he said, go train on Thursday night, boy. And I didn't stop training until the end of my career, I don't think. Well, just got on with it, He said you need to do loads of stretching and you need to build it up. But I mean, he had that eye for a sports injury.
Yeah, and a GA man to the core as well. It didn't matter whether you were coming from Clarecastle or whether you were coming from Croom or Charleville. You were a player first and foremost.
Yeah, and the door was always open to you. He wasn't the Clare doctor, he was the Cork doctor, but down to him and made a call and he was right.
Joe O'Dwyer unfortunately being forced off after that injury, and he's been replaced by number 19, Killian O'Dwyer, also from Killinall. I don't know is there any relations between them, but anyway,
don't know that, Colm, yeah.
We'll wish Joe hopefully a speedy recovery. Hate to see an injury like that at any stage, but especially just before Christmas and just as you're starting out your season, your county season. But a substitute, as I said, it's Killian O'Dwyer back with the action and back with a chance for Limerick, and that is well taken by the corner forward Darragh O'Connell, making his debut tonight. Second score for the man from Kildimo, Pallaskenry. Same club, of course, as Kyle Hayes. And another chance now for Limerick from a poor puck out. This time the effort gone wide from Darragh O'Donovan. And as Anthony said there, I'm sure John Kiley will have plenty to look back on the video footage of tonight's game, given the possession that they've won, but failing to put that onto the scoreboard. Unfortunately, it was David Reedy who tripped on that occasion, spilled the ball, and it's back with Tipperary. An effort from distance. Has it found the range? Yes. No, it hasn't. Despite the protestations of one or two of the Tipperary players.
Jerome Cahill operating at full forward now. Jason Ford has come top of the left, and in on Richie English, no easy task on a night like this for a young player, but good. I should have scored that one and has gotten one already, so in fairness to him, and Darren O'Connell have been the guys you'd be looking out for so far. Yeah.
Michael Breen on his bike there, a nice little dink of a pass by Breen in towards Jason Ford. On this occasion though, Limerick holding their lines, back with Dan Morrissey. Nice ball by Dan, but again players kind of struggling to get it into their hand on the first occasion. Darren O'Connell eventually gets it. He's shown up well, Anthony, for you in the last few minutes. 2 points from him. Out to his wing forward to Darragh O'Donovan. Great ball by him into the corner forward. Adrian Breen, still Breen. What a shot, what a goal! Much to the delight of the Limerick support here tonight. It was a fantastic pass in from Darragh O'Donovan into his corner forward, the man from the Piercing. There was only one thing on his mind, and that was putting the ball past Paul Maher and into the top corner.
Well, and Darragh O'Donovan as well has learned, like, from the few shots he's had, they haven't been going over. Like he sensibly spotted a one-on-one inside, and Killian O'Dwyer literally on the field, probably a bit cold at the moment, and Breen nicely warmed up, haven't been involved in that clash with O'Dwyer, so he just surrounded him and buried, like, and we've seen him doing that so often from the Piercing.
Conor Boylan on the ball here now, back in towards the goal score there. Did well to flick it across as far as Seamus Flanagan, and Flanagan from 45 yards puts it straight over the black spot. Another score for Limerick, and 1-4 to 2 points. The scoreboard reads now in this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash. Goalkeeper Maher going short as far as Heffernan. Some shouting here on the sideline seems to be coming from John Kiley. I think he's looking for increased work rate from his men, who've been producing about 1-1 in the last 2 or 3 moments of play. Down in front of us though is Willie Connors. Willie playing it right into the corner forward area in towards Jerome Cahill. Here's Cahill. Oh, well blocked down. Dan Morrissey hoovers it up. Opts to go back to his goalkeeper Hennessy, who opts to go short again to Aaron Costello, his cornerback from Kilmallock. Poor delivery though, signposted, but fell perfectly though back for Robbie Hanley. Took about 2 bites of the cherry, but managed to get the pass off in towards his full forward line. Being held up there by the goal scorer Adrian Breen. Breen doing well, trying to knock O'Dwyer off the ball. And Killian O'Dwyer, the man who came on a few moments ago for Joe after that collision. It's kind of gone a bit sloppy there, but Conor Boylan managing to get on the ball. Still Boylan, and brought to ground there unceremoniously by Brian McGrath, the full back. And,
and like anyone that thinks that the Co-op Superstores Munster League is not being taken serious just has to look at John Kiley down under us here. Colm, very animated and kind of hurling every ball, and really up for it here in the Gaelic grounds. Conor Boylan winning a great free there. He'd no one around him, no Limerick man really, and had to carry on and drew the free. You'd be delighted with that as a manager, because he hadn't too many options. There wasn't too much support, and he kept going and kept playing the ball legally, and eventually they took him down. I think it was Brian McGrath, as you said.
Of course, his dad Dave, former team doctor here in Limerick, and it's a bit of a family affair for them as well too tonight, as his brother Jerome is wearing number 17. As expected, David Reedy doing the honours from perfect range, and it's pushing it out to 1-5 to 2 points in this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash on the Irish Examiner website, on Facebook, on the Munster Council website, being broadcast around Limerick, around Munster and around the world tonight. And hopefully we'll have your company for that. Another foul there. If this was football, that probably would be a black card, I'd say, as Seamus Flanagan looked to be motoring towards goal. The Tipperary man was down on the ground.
I think it was Willie Connors, was it?
Was it Willie?
I think it was Willie,
and, stuck out an old hand.
Yeah, what stands out so far though is the Limerick work rate is superior to the Tip work rate. Okay, Tip had chances early on, and maybe would Limerick have sort of made it into that usual Limerick battle in the middle of the field, and Flanagan got that block before he was fouled there as well. Like, they're really crowded, they don't give you free shots, and signs on now they're gone 7 clear. That's the type of play they love. They love leaving that space inside and making a battle of it in the middle, and that keeps their half back line in place all the time as well.
I'm a bit surprised on a couple of occasions there, Paul Maher opting to go short with the puck out, and as you said, Anthony, given the work rate that they're facing, would they be better to go a bit longer?
Well, there's 2 things, Paul Maher could puck it long, but giving it short, we'll say, to the likes of Barry Heffernan there, and he's going long then, that's no great advantage. That's actually a slower ball up to your half forward line, but obviously Limerick keep bodies back, so a lot of teams, but if you do go short against Limerick, you have to work it through the lines then, Colm, you have to take the step, try and break the tackle, pop it onto a midfielder, and maybe he gets a chance of a score. But they did win a free off that one, so I suppose I could be contradicting myself, but that is the kind of scenario. If
but
you
an
do
awful
go
lot
short,
of hard work. Yeah.
The second ball shouldn't be a long ball, really.
Okay, 7:50 or thereabouts, about 20 minutes gone here in the LIT Gaelic grounds. The news from Mallow is the game has started, and we will update you on the scores from that. The other clash tonight in the competition between Cork and Kerry, and tonight, of course, being the start, the second coming for Kieran Kingston down in Cork, and we will chat about that with Anthony a little later. Jason Ford on the score sheet, an incredible display of marksmanship and an incredible piece of fielding there by David Reedy. God, he's really caught the eye tonight, as has the man in at full forward, Seamus Flanagan. Didn't come off for him on this occasion, and it's Ford long from his full forward posting, as Anthony said, dropping deeper and deeper and deeper, and that was a bad pass by Willie Connors, or Jerome Cahill, excuse me, and loses possession. And that hunger and work ethic of Limerick so much to the fore here tonight. A lovely little dink, waited for the ball to come down to him, was Darren O'Connell. Connell is going to take a shot there, and Connell's going to put that one right over the crossbar. 3 points from him, and it all came from that error back here.
Jerome Cahill, and bit careless with the pass, and Paddy Loughlin managed to get a hurley on it, but a great ball in again by Darragh Donovan. That angled crossfield ball, corner forwards love it, and O'Connell pays the burn, as we said earlier.
Okay, we went route one on this occasion, and guess what's after happening? We have a score there for Tipperary out on the far side, and that was Paul Flynn who converted that one. So route one does work.
Yeah, just broke the puck out, and Paul Flynn was sharpest onto it, out in front of Tom Condon, and turned and took his score.
And like, especially when you have a guy, Anthony, like John McGrath, centre forward, who's a powerful operator, must definitely be seen as an outlet.
Yeah, and like you would have to say, like Barry Nash, you'd want to be testing him under those high balls as well, because we know how good a forward Barry was. So centre back, very good against Kilkenny when he came on wing back last year. He's on the ball now and great attacking player, but you must test him now as a defender if you're looking at it from a tip point of view.
Richie English did well to clear the lines just behind Barry to get it out and back out as far as corner forward there. That's Darren O'Connell, and that one has gone to the right and gone wide.
Yeah, and like look, that's his first mistake, and chance here.
Yeah, bad mistake by the goalkeeper on this occasion, and it's converted there by Adrian Breen.
Yeah, and again going short. Limerick very alert for this. Like, have to say, Limerick really up for this column. You can really tell that there's a bite in them and a sharpness about them. A sharp puck out, everyone's alert, everyone's hurley up, and the reset is very solid from them.
Okay, that's pushed it out to Limerick. 1 goal and 8 points, 4 points to Tipperary, All-Ireland champions tonight. Dan Morrissey. And I think you can hear Dan's frustration himself there with the direction of that one broken down there, about 20 yards out. There's 3 or 4, and that's the one thing, as Anthony said, the Limerick lads defending in numbers. You're going to have to work very hard for a score if you're a Tipperary forward tonight. There's 1, 2, 3 of them inside there, and in the end the line's been cleared by Morrissey down here in front of us, in front of the stand, out with the man wearing number 19. That's Killian O'Dwyer, came on a few moments ago to Jason Ford from distance, and Ford slots it over the crossbar, and that's a score that Tipperary badly needed.
And Jason Ford hasn't been anything like as prominent as he was last week, but scored a good free there a minute ago, and follows up then with that good play by Killian O'Dwyer, settling into the game now, having been caught kind of for the goal.
Oh, what a great ball by Barry Nash. Route 1, as we were talking, not working for Tipperary, very much working for Limerick. On this occasion though, the defender has managed to squirrel it out as far as Robert Byrne from Portroe, going cross field, working it all the way to the far side of the field there, out as far as Mark Keogh. Great ball by Keogh to Paul Flynn, and Flynn taking an effort from about 50 yards, and that one is trail. The one thing we would say last week, Anthony, the scores were coming thick and fast. The radar off tonight.
Yeah, and not a puff of wind here, and all these guys are really well warmed up, and pitch is reasonably good, but that's a very good chance for Paul Flynn, and we've seen a couple of those going a begging from various lads. Limerick more economical with the chances they're getting for sure.
Richie English, a touch of class as always to his corner forward Adrian Breen going back to Conor Boylan playing at short, his centre forward Dave Reedy, still Reedy, he's got an option outside him if he wants it. That's Breen. There's Breen, 21 yards out from the sideline. That's a good effort if he has found the range. Umpire is confirming that he has. That was a fine score, wasn't it, Anthony?
Yeah, that's 1-1 from play from him now as well, but you have to really be impressed by David Reedy. The work rate, and again, look at the turnover of the sharp puck out, very sharp.
Very sharp, and it's in with the full forward Flanagan. Flanagan hauled to the ground in the exclusion zone, and again, what we're saying, Dalo, Tipperary being the authors of their own misfortune, and a yellow card being shown to the cornerback.
Barry Heffernan,
the man that came on there a few moments ago to Killian O'Dwyer, who's had some baptism of fire in the 10 minutes he's been on.
I'm not sure, is it Killian or is it Barry Heffernan that got it? I'm not too sure, but again, the same pattern, like Limerick really sharp and running at their men then and drawing the frees, and this man taking the free now has been really sharp, David Reedy.
Pushing it out 110 to 5 points in the LIT Gaelic grounds in this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash. Being broadcast on the Irish Examiner website, Facebook Live on the Munster Council website, right around the world. If you are watching in foreign shores, or even if you're just watching up the road, say hello, we'd love to hear from you. Effort from Tipperary from their midfielder, Michael Breen, and that one gone straight between the posts as well. The old dog for the long road.
Yeah, very good score, and good. Paul Flynn has really come into the game at corner forward, and he again won a dirty ball from a long puck out, and popped it to Mikey Breen and good accurate score, and he's away again.
There's Breen playing a quarterback on a roll, bit of a high one there. Chance though coming up there, goalkeeper well off his line there. He's got he's gone a long way out. Is that Flynn that he's trying to dispossess, and he has managed to do so. There's all legs and everything in there. Oh, that was a very heavy hit on top of Dan Morrissey. Morrissey was down on the ball. Tipperary player coming across and went headlong into Morrissey. That certainly is going to be a free out, and I'm sure we're going to see a card as well too from referee Tom Walsh. Yes, indeed, as he's calling over the aforementioned Paul Flynn for that one there. Looked to be Mark Hugh, I think, that was involved as well too down there with the goalkeeper. But Hennessy came off his line very quickly and managed to avert the danger.
He did really well initially, Hennessy. I kind of felt he might have fouled Willie Connors initially. Tomas Walsh didn't blow for that, and it was sort of late and high on Dan Morrissey then. And in light of the lads clashing already, I suppose anything head high has to be stamped down on. And it's a yellow for Paul Flynn. Dan Morrissey gladly, great to see back up on the feet and away again.
But Hennessy from Kilmallock off his line pretty swiftly there, averted the danger. And it still leaves it as 1 goal and 10 points to 6 points in this clash here tonight with centre back Barry Heffernan. First time effort by him, and good play by the corner back there. That's Aaron Costello helping his fullback Richie English. Dan Morrissey has recovered from his collision a few moments ago. Nice little turn by him into Barry Nash. You'd know his dad well, would you? Oh, Nash has lost it here. And Tipperary, yet again, Paul Flynn. What was it that failed
Paul Flynn
to make
a chance? Just not taking their chances. Essentially, that's the difference. It was a massive turnover on Barry Nash. As you said, I'd know his father Mike and his uncle Declan really well. We'd have done battle in this pitch a couple of times. Thank God they were down the other end of the field from me.
They'd probably say the same. They'd probably say the same.
No, I'll tell you, the Nashes were hardy boys, and you know, Barry's been impressive at centre back. Great turnover there by John McGrath. In fairness to him, stuck to the task and set up the chance for Paul Flynn, but just not taken. And that's really the story of the first half, isn't it?
Very much the story of the first half. And again, just I suppose, to compliment the referee, as you said tonight, just letting the game flow. There's been a couple of little things that a pernickety match official might be blowing up on, a few of the quick puck outs and everything like that. Now, there might be some in Tipperary that would be saying it's a pity he wasn't blowing up on some of those quick puck outs, but credit anyway to Tom Walsh tonight.
And anyone that comes out the Friday before Christmas to watch a game, inter-county game like this, wants a good back, doesn't want a free-ridden game and blowing. Like he wants to see it free-flowing.
Clash of the Ash there, the shot taken off by Jerome Cahill, but gone wide yet again. This time it's Seamus Flanagan been dispatched as a target man. Lovely little turn yet again. That's about the second time we've seen Darren O'Connell using his body to hold off the man and work the ball inside, but Tipperary wise to deploy back as far as Paul Maher opts to go short yet again. His cornerback, he's lost it. Fullback has been called in, and wild pull there, and it's going to be a free out to Tipperary.
Yeah, good composure by Brian McGrath. You know, it's a lot of messing in the Tipperary defence there, but Brian, you know, settled it down. One, he's free, and they're on the attack.
It's more like an experienced old campaigner there, the way he settled things out. Nice little play out by Limerick through Tom Condon, cornerback, but it's now with Darragh O'Donovan. This corner seems to be a bit of a target so far for Limerick. Working it back to the centre forward Reedy. Into the full forward Flanagan. Got the shot away a bit too quickly. Had an extra bit of time on it.
Could have probably taken a step or two to the side, you know, and created a better angle for himself, but snatched at it a little bit, and Brian McGrath stood his ground and kind of let him shoot under pressure, and often a good ply for any defender, really.
Paddy Cadell midfield back as far as Barry Heffernan from about 60 odd yards. That one has trailed wide as well. Cadell, a man that caught your eye last week, not as much tonight.
No, and you know, it's been himself and Ronan Connolly in the middle of the field. They'd know each other well from their underage, but you'd have to say neither the two of them really in the play. That can happen in midfield, as we know. You know, a lot of the play can bypass it.
Gone right across the field. Craig Morgan is the cornerback, cleaning up there. manages to be hooked, and the sideline being awarded to Morgan himself. Good play, but again back to what Anthony was saying about the never-ending work ethic of the Limerick players. Most forwards have been happy enough to let the cornerback away with it there. Not so much these lads, especially with John Kiley shouting the orders from the sideline. He's been vocal enough here in front of us tonight. Crossfield ball there by Jerome Cahill. Out as far as Keogh. Willie Connors is it? And that one has gone out for a sideline. Limerick claiming it, but Tipperary being awarded, and that's going to be Jason Ford, coming out to take that one. But 25, 26 yards out.
And knowing him, he'll probably fancy himself like he'd be one of the trademark experts around the country at these.
Well, as he did last weekend. Has he matched that accuracy from Nina? Has he brought that? No, hasn't brought it to the Gaelic grounds tonight. Latest down, by the way, after 15 minutes down in Mallow, it's Cork 5 points, Kerry 4 points in the Co-op Superstore Munster Senior Hurling League clash down there. That game starting about 10-15 minutes late tonight because of the weather conditions down in Mallow. Here the scoreline reads: Limerick 1 goal and 10 points, Tipperary 6 points, as we're edging closer to half time. Referee Tom Walsh looking at his watch down there. I'm sure the two teams will be quite happy to get in and maybe get some hot fluids on board. 2 or 3 players all on the ground there, including Flanagan and Brian McGrath. They're all back up on their feet. So with Michael Breen. Played, of course, in the All-Ireland final last season in their victory over Kilkenny. A bit of a pushing and pulling going on down there. And that's going to be a free there to Jerome Cahill.
It was actually for a late tackle on Michael Breen as he delivered the ball. I think it was maybe Shemmy Flanagan came across, and Tom Walsh not having a word with Shemmy, but sensibly, saying it's the free from where the ball lands, and it should be a gimme for Jason Ford, and one Tip could do badly with now coming up to the break.
There's Jason Ford. Incredible return of 14 points from him last week down in Nina. Some afters, it seems, still continuing. Referee Tom Walsh is going down for a bit of a chat.
He's going to have an award with Jamie, I think. Yeah, maybe someone had a word in his ear, maybe to say there was a little bit more in it than slightly late.
There was a bit of grappling a few moments beforehand from the two of them down here, so it obviously carried over into that, and that's, by my reckoning, the third yellow card of the evening here at the LIT Gaelic grounds. But back with the action. Bit of a breeze, by the way, too, Anthony. I'm just looking down here at the flag, so this favouring Jason Ford. Man from Silvermines. And for a man of his skill set, this should be relatively straightforward. And yes, indeed, it is. And that's bringing it to 1 goal and 10 points to 7 points in this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash tonight. Competition a bit earlier this season. Tipperary heading off on their well-deserved team holiday. Limerick, of course, went on their team holiday back in September. And Tip will be heading off just after Christmas. And then preparations will be turning very much towards the Allianz Hurling League. Tipperary, of course, defeated in their opening again against Clare, Brian Lohan's Clare, much to Anthony's delight last week. And good start to Brian's managerial career with the Banner. We'll have a chat about that a little later as well. Young Brian McGrath, powerful young man. Puck out from him though, ends out into John Kiley's hands. John was no mean hurler back in the day himself, was a panellist in 1996 when, who can ever forget the heartache that Limerick suffered at the hands of Wexford. Ball being played in towards the full forward line. Caught on this occasion by the corner forward down there, Paul Flynn, wearing the white helmet. Flynn looked for the pass, but the runner, the centre back, Barry Heffernan, not on the same wavelength. It's the other full-back, Barry Nash, who's bursting out and fouls the ball on the way out, and that's going to be a free in.
Yeah, and that's Tipperary matching that Limerick work rate, and I think that's a great battle. Barry Nash and John McGrath here. Barry Nash in possession, probably didn't have too many options, and McGrath, that's his second kind of big turnover on him. So Tommy Dunn much more animated as well now out onto the field, and Gene up lads, and Tip won't want to be going off on holidays with 2 defeats in a row. So good bit of work to do, but 2 frees now. Fancy Jason Ford to score this again, so bringing it back to kind of manageable margins for the break.
Yeah, 2 minutes, by the way, of additional time being signalled down on the sideline, and we've probably about 30 seconds of that elapsed at this stage tonight. No other subs to mention. The only one that we've seen so far, Keelan O'Dwyer from Killinall, replacing Joe, who suffered that collision, that accidental collision a little earlier. Nothing accidental there about the free being awarded, as this occasion it's David Reedy again fouled for overcarrying. Jason Ford is going to come all the way out to midfield.
Slightly debatable, was he being held? He definitely overcarried, but was he being held? But that's an increase in the Tipperary work rate, and you can see it from the sideline, from Liam and especially Tommy's in the field, and they just, they were looking like the game was going away from them, but they've definitely dug their way back into it.
Well, if there was such a thing as a 16th man, Tommy Dunn would certainly be it. He's animated there on the sideline. He's been in and out like a jack in the box for the last couple of minutes, geeing lads up, as Dalo says, and it seems to be working, because they've got the last 2 or 3 scores.
Yeah,
and
three frees in a row, like from Ford, and back to a 4-point game, like for what was a 7-point game a few minutes ago.
Yes, indeed. Limerick 1 goal and 10 points. Tipperary 9 points in the LIT Gaelic grounds in this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash. And I'll say exciting enough fair for the 20th of December. Both teams definitely giving plenty of it. Nice bit of skill there by Paul Flynn. He's giving Tom Condon a bit of a run there, and still Flynn, but Condon holding him up. Nice little dink pass in towards Ford. Ford takes the shoulder, plays it. And well played by the centre back Barry Nash to cut out the danger. It looked to be Jerome Cahill who was winding up, but loses possession again. Tipperary funneling it out to Mark Keogh. Keogh taking in about 3 defenders. Are they fouling him? No. Referee wastes play on. Ball still with Tipperary. Bursting through, but bursting through illegally, and that's going to be a free out, Dalo.
Yeah, and both managements, in sense, it was either a free in or a free out, and because there was nothing else going to happen. Just Mark Keogh trying to burrow his way through, but Thomas Walsh decided he took too much out of it as he blew David Reedy at the other side. So I suppose, look, it balances itself out eventually.
Wouldn't have gone amiss with that action a couple of 100 metres up the road at the Thomond Park Stadium in a Heineken Champions Cup, the way Mark was burrowing his way through in the final moments, the final action of the first half here. Now, looking at the scoreboard, Limerick 1 goal and 10 points, Tipperary 9 points. I must say, Dalo, not bad at all for the 20th of December.
Very enjoyable, Colm, I have to say. Normally with these things you take your lead from the management, and both sets of management are really up for it. And you have to say Limerick from the get-go, and Tip probably sensed that this isn't going the way we like here, and we don't want a second defeat in a row, and they've really upped their game and come right back into it there at the injury time, and the last couple of minutes in normal time, very kind to them.
Okay. Inside in the dressing rooms there, you're Liam Sheedy. What's the gist of your team speech?
You're saying, look, at last time we were here was the Munster final, and Limerick kind of ran a drag with us that day. Are they going to do the same this evening? You're asking them to lay down a few markers, personal markers, even one-on-one. Are you beating your own man here? And can you do better on your own man? And certainly now in the last 7-8 minutes plus injury time, let's say 10 in total, they've really upped the work rate. John McGrath leading the way at centre forward, himself and Barry Nash. I think that's a great clash there. And but overall, John Kiley's men have deserved to be ahead, and the goal chance Tip created 1 or 2, didn't take them. And when Adrian Breen got his chance, brilliant finish. And that's the essential difference at the moment.
We'll come back to that in a moment. Just in terms of John Kiley and Limerick, given the off-field incidents, distractions, call it what you will, how important is it to kind of get back in the horse, get back playing, get a result, get the momentum going, get people focusing on the hurling again?
Absolutely, sure. Look, it's a bit misfortunate, Colm, really, to be honest with you. Tis the era we live in, I suppose, where there's a bloody camera everywhere, just, I think, maybe look, stuff that he came out with a very clear, concise, strong statement, backed his squad, good lads, and from what I know of them as well, good lads, you know. And look, if anything like that's to happen, probably very important that happens before Christmas, before the new year comes around, and so that, you know, when you come back and nights like tonight now, good display here, and that stuff is forgotten about fairly quickly. You know?
Okay. Talk to me. So that goal, obviously the injury to Joe Dwyer kind of threw Tipperary, and as you said, it was the right man, the right place, the right time to pounce 2 or 3 minutes later.
Yeah, poor old Killian came off the bench, and with a clash like that, you don't have probably time to warm up. I know the subs are kind of constantly warming up now, but you know, properly, like if it's a tactical substitution, you get the guy ready. He goes off with the physical trainer for 5-6 minutes, and he comes on. But like Joe just had to come off with the head injury. Nice see him walking off. He seems okay anyway, but just you can take no chances with that. But Killian maybe a bit cold, but to give Limerick their credit as well, like I think Dara Donovan had a couple of early shots that went awry, and sensibly then got his head up and gave a couple of great balls inside, and really impressed with him at wing forward, coming deep, delivering fast into the full forward line. And you have to say Darren O'Connell really sharp in the other corner, Breen really sharp, Flanagan relatively sharp, picked up a silly yellow there, alright, but David Reedy for me has been the guy that's really made a tick for them at centre forward. His work rate has been, and his fitness levels, like colossal for the time of year.
4 points between the sides, Limerick leading. If you're John Kiley, do you take a look at the bench? There's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I think. If they were to be called on, this would be their Limerick debut. Do you blood a guy like that tonight, or do you say, look, let's stick with what we have?
I know you do, I think you do. You definitely do, because, you know, again, from what I know of them, Josh Considine, you know, great lad, fiery lad, you know, Brian O'Grady, same way, Brian Ryan. You know, if Brian Ryan is going to be making it now, he needs to be kind of making it this year, next year, you know, moving on, like, you know, in terms of inter-county careers at this stage. And, you know, Jerome Boyle and their great experience, Piercig, they're all, like, while they, you know, Josh Considine's just after playing in a county final, a Munster club campaign with the Well, so, like, a night like tonight is not going to faze these young fellas, you know, and so, yeah, I would be looking at definitely getting 3-4 of them in the second half.
Okay, we're going to get you a cup of tea, Anthony, because you're turning blue with the cold. It's 110 to 9 points here in the LIT Gaelic Grounds. You're watching the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash of the All-Ireland champions of the past 2 years. Tipperary and Limerick will be back for the second half in 10 minutes' time. And Tom
So
Morrissey
he's not
is-
going for the young fella straight away, Colm, has we?
Yeah, that's another prediction of ours gone. Will be interesting to see what way Tipperary are going to answer back in the second half of the action here. And it looks like they're starting with a 10th with John McGrath going on a bursting run. And McGrath putting it over the bar and putting it to 3 points between the sides. 110 to 10 points.
Yeah, I think he's been hugely responsible for the fight back, to be honest. And that, the scores hadn't been coming from him up to this. He's been creating, but what a run there and what a score, Sensed he was being closed down and took the point sensibly back to a goal. I think we're in for a great second half, Colm.
You were saying that at half time, Dalo, and obviously from the opening few seconds here in this action this evening at the LIT Gaelic Grounds in this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash. You can see the intent down there, not just in Tipperary, but in the two sides. Tom Morrissey, the aforementioned, wearing number 21 down here in front of us. And it's all going to end up with a sideline there to Paddy Cadell was standing over it, but he's opted to give it back to his cornerback. And it's Alan Flynn, brother of Paul, who's impressed at corner forward tonight. Welcome to all our friends and supporters watching us around the world. We'll get on to those in a few minutes' time as we follow back with the action. Scrum of players, and it's McGrath again at the core of it, but doesn't come to anything. Out to Morrissey on a great block down. To be Paddy Cadell. Got a touch in it from Robert Byrne, goes to ground. And a bit scrappy here in front of us there just for the last few seconds.
It's very tough conditions, Colm. It's hard. You can see the pitch is in good order, good and dry, but there isn't much growth, obviously, as we all know with our lawns this time of the year, thank God. But it's hard to rise the ball, and that leads to those little schmozzles, especially in front of the Mackey stand here. But can also lead to a bit of rising in the blood pressure and a bit of good old-fashioned tension coming into the play and a bit more bite on it.
Keogh collecting the ball but can't retain possession. The reinforcements coming for Limerick, back with the centre back Heffernan. But dispossessed there, and great ball right across. Is it towards the full forward? Ford shot, and it's a goal. Goal for Tipperary, and a few afters afterwards with the goalkeeper. But that was a fantastic pass to pick him on. John McGrath, should I say, not Ford. McGrath, the centre forward, who, as Anthony said, was leading a one-man fight back and has landed a one-man equaliser there. The 4 scores, the 4 points after half-time, 1-1 coming from the man from Lockmore, Castellini, 1 goal and 10 apiece.
And a superb pass by Alan Flynn, who was out in front of Tom Morrissey. Good old-fashioned wing-back play, just saw the clearance, was out in front, collected, got his head up, and John McGrath, what a man to drift into space. And how often have we seen John McGrath just pulling the trigger like that, and was a bit upset with Barry Hennessy coming off his line and a late challenge, and Barry picks up a yellow for it. But really since about 10 minutes before half time have really upped their intensity levels and really paying off for them.
Half time, by the way, from Mallow. Cork 15 points, Kerry 7 points. That was the other game tonight in the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League. That game starting a little later because of the weather conditions down in Mallow. Heavy fog delaying the Kerry team bus, and no such problems thankfully here for the commentary crew, Dalo and myself, here in the Mackey stand in the Gaelic Grounds, the LIT Gaelic Grounds in Limerick. 110 apiece in the clash of the All-Ireland champions of the last 2 years. Effort from distance from Tom Morrissey. There was a bit of danger lurking on the edge of the square there with Seamus Flanagan in and around the full forward area, but that one going past the post and Paul Maher with the resultant puck out. Just to remind you again, tonight's game in association with the Co-op Superstores, sponsors of this Munster Senior Hurling League, going out live on the Irish Examiner's website. We're on Facebook Live, and we're also on the Munster Council website tonight. And if you are watching around the world, we'd love to hear from you, so post your comments, good, bad or indifferent, on Anthony's attire tonight, or the standard of hurling, whatever it might be. We'd love to hear from you, and people already getting in touch. Lovely bit of skill down there. Will it result in a score for Limerick? If it is, that is a fantastic effort. Umpire though waving Adrian Breen's effort wide on that occasion, but lovely little turn and twist by Breen. But unfortunately,
just Rob Craig Morgan just picked his pocket literally, and I think we'd be gone to Hawkeye if we were in a different venue maybe, because that was very hard for the umpires to judge.
Shot from distance there by the wing forward Darragh O'Donovan, and that one gone wide. In the same way that Tipperary were having a run of wides in the first half, it's Limerick who are afflicted in the second half. Short puck outs though, continuing here, and same again as it's Morrissey. Well blocked though, and it's back with the centre back Barry Heffernan. Ball in towards the danger area again, bounces though calmly into Barry Hennessy. Perfectly positioned for that one, out to his centre back Barry Nash. Worked it all the way back from Paul Flynn. Options, players calling for it left, right and centre, but it's found no one in particular other than Aaron Costello, the cornerback, being put under pressure, being helped by Richie English. Ball being dinked in again, but no one was waiting for the run, and goalkeeper Hennessy opting to go short to Costello. Out to English, and English working it. Limerick, by the way, now a bit like Tipperary going short. Dan Morrissey eventually getting it off, but no destination awaiting the ball there. Alan Flynn. The ball breaks all the way back down to Limerick, and it's back with Darragh O'Donovan in front of us here to David Reedy. Pressed Dalo so much in the first half, kind of gone off the boil slight bit. McGrath did well there to cut out the danger. Work back though as far as David Dempsey. Back to the midfielder Robert Hanley. Still Hanley. Hanley with the shot away. Oh! For 1 second it looked like that was nestling into the bottom corner.
He gets the free back though. He gets the free back. All right, Colin, but yeah, it was a chance. Maybe he could have popped to Flanagan inside him as well. Took. Maybe he knew he was fouled. You know, some players can sense it, and it's a bit like the old rugby rule at this stage. You take a chance, and yeah, it wasn't far wide. A great run by Robbie Henley, though, you have to say, from midfield.
Well, athletic kind of stride,
my God,
isn't
like
it?
when he hit that line there, I tell you, it wasn't easy stopping. So good chance for Reedy now. Should be tap over really to put Limerick back just slightly ahead again. Very tight and play here, very hard fought, Colin, I tell you that. Mightn't be the sexiest hurling of all time in terms of touch, and you expect that this time of the year, but I tell you, players are giving it absolutely everything.
As you said, intensity level from the two sides has ramped up even in the 10 minutes since that half-time break. Up with the cornerback there, Craig Morgan. And, certainly more fluency and speed to Tipperary in the second half. Barry Nash, though, I'll say, like his dad and his uncle before him, you know he's there.
Yeah, has made a couple of mistakes, to be fair, but has been willing and able, and you know the mistakes aren't setting him back.
And what better night to be making the mistakes and learning from them?
Absolutely, and that's what John Kiley be looking for off all these guys tonight.
Darragh Donovan's long effort, 2 or 3 Tipperary men cleaning the house. Back to Hanley. Zoomed in though, and it's a great play by John McGrath. Hanley though managing to regain possession, working it back to his wing forward Darragh O'Donovan, all going through the hands. In the end though, it goes through the hands and through the fingers of David Dempsey, and it's back out here in front of us with the corner, or the Tipperary wing back, who takes 2 heavy hits, and the referee deemed that he fouled the ball. I must say Alan Flynn was, I thought, unfortunate on that occasion there.
Yeah.
And some words leading referee Tom Walsh to add an extra 10 or 15 yards to the free and bringing David Reedy a little closer to Paul Maher's goal.
And he'll be glad of that, because, you know, and that's the silly, he just poked it away actually. He just flicked it back out over the sideline out of frustration, because he probably felt he was being fouled himself. But in fairness,
he took 2 big hits.
He did, but in fairness, Thomas Walsh, that's the way he's been reffing it tonight. If he doesn't blow for the free and you take too many steps, you will be blown.
So we've Reedy now, just about 3-4 yards inside the 45, about 10 yards in, and the man from Drummond Atlaka, who, as we mentioned before, played season with Kildare, has been one of the shining lights for Limerick in the LIT Gaelic grounds tonight. Mention of the lights, huge quality on the lights here tonight. One of those mistakes that Dalo mentioned from Barry Nash almost cost his team there. I think some heavy shoulders going in from both sides, and it's Seamus Flanagan loses possession. Hoovered up though again by Hanley. Has caught the eye in the last few minutes. A player down on the ground there, one of the Tipperary players. Huge roar there as an effort from Paddy Cadell is blocked down. The temperature certainly rising here in the Gaelic grounds tonight. Jason Ford, there's a bit of afters going on down here. I can see it's Willie Connors getting involved. The clash of the ashes ringing out here in the LIT Gaelic grounds. It might be the end of December, but I'll tell you, you could be mistaken for a championship Sunday.
I tell you, Colin, there's not too many happy Christmases being dished out down there at the moment. It's real stuff, and that Mackie stand, nothing like it. But the crowd are, they're nearly on top of you, and they really can sense the noise level from them, and things really heating up here.
And the players feeding off it. Dara O'Donovan taking the puck, and it's back as far as Dara from about 50 yards. Will this one have found it? It's been willed over by the Limerick supporters, and that is a phenomenal score by Dara O'Donovan at wing forward. I'll tell you, we're getting a bit wound up here.
Yeah, and look, we said it that the tip, sideline had an awful lot to do with psyching him up for that last 10 minutes, and definitely Limerick. John Kiley had a few words at half time because they're fired up now, and their local crowd here up behind them. Darren O'Connell coming off now, Brian Ryan coming on. Darren has had a great debut in fairness, 3 from play, and contributed really well, but they obviously want to win it, and they're willing to ring in the changes.
High five and a big shake of the hands from Limerick manager John Kiley. Must be happy with what he's seen there in the last 5 minutes or so after that sluggish start to the second half that saw their 4-point lead whittled away, Tipperary drawing level, and now we're back at 113 to 1 goal and 10. It's Limerick who lead, and it's Tipperary who are on the attack down here in front of us. Ball coming right across the field. There's 2-3 players up for it. Dangerous play. The fullback, I think Richie English, has fallen down on one of the Tipperary players. Dalo was wondering would we be looking at a penalty? Referee waving play on. Paddy O'Loughlin. They somehow manage to get it out. And great hand pass off there to the man wearing 21, Tom Morrissey. And here comes Limerick on the attack. The home fans finding their voice. Lovely piece of skill by Adrian Breen from the Napearsey club. Being dispossessed though by Craig Morgan. Reinforcements coming from Tipperary as they try and work it out past the halfway line. Some big heavy hits coming in here. You can feel them up here in the Mackey stand. Going short yet again. Here come Tipperary. Here comes the corner forward. It's Paul Flynn. Work back out as far as Jason Ford. Ford from distance. That is gone wide, and the Limerick supporters cheering that wide as loudly as they cheer a Limerick score. Heart rate monitors, I'd say, on the GPSs are starting to pump up a small bit now.
Yeah, tremendous work again by Barry Nash. We said it's been a little bit of a mixed bag, but again, put himself in the breach there and forced Paul Flynn back out the field, and then forced him to pass it back to Jason Ford, who kind of hit it off the back foot and tailed away to the left, and the Limerick crowd, as you said, cheering it like a score at the other end.
Richie English and John McGrath both having a quick little word with Tom Walsh having a quick little word with them. One of the Tipperary players is down on the ground, still receiving treatment. We'll see the medics are running on from various corners of the field. Just to mention, people watching around the world, it's Jerome Cahill, by the way, is the player who's down receiving treatment at the moment. Looks to be back on his feet. Michael Hennigan got in touch. Michael watching us in Manchester. Terry Burns is in North Carolina. Terry, you should be at work at this stage. I'm trying to work it back out. It's probably about
it's a half day. It's a half day
today. Jason Lynch is in Sydney, and Emanuno is in Bahrain. Kieran Hayes.
Oh yeah, Kieran Hayes. What a Limerick man. With a bit of Clare breeding in there too. But yeah, great man for the Limerick supporters club in Dublin. While he was in Dublin, now enjoying the sunshine in Bahrain there for the Turkey. I'm not sure if he's flying in or not, but massive Limerick supporter.
And I'm sure he's enjoying the action here tonight. And a great credit as well to the sponsors of the competition, the Co-op Superstores, who are abling and assisting our commentary tonight. which is going out on Facebook Live, on the Irish Examiner website, on the Munster Council website, and the Limerick fans watching around the world are able to watch Tom Morrissey from a hand pointing that one from just over 40 yards in front of the stand and pushing it out to a 4-point lead.
Yeah, and took a little bit of time to get warmed up. Alan Flynn had the better of it there for a while, but trademark Tom Morrissey, great work by Breen, not taking on the shot himself, sensing the man was in the better position outside and fed him, and Tom Morrissey did the rest.
Paddy O'Loughlin has caught the eye in the last few minutes, and he finds on this occasion Robbie Hanley, who's surrounded by 3 players. Somehow a shot manages to be taken off. Well done again by Nash, the centre back, the young man from South Liberties. Bit of a coming together of players, as Anthony said. Referee Tom Walsh, understanding of the conditions and letting these things develop, pointless blowing the whistle for every one of these. Going short on that occasion. Bad call, looking for Tom Morrissey to collect, but a bit of a stretch even in Morrissey's big frame to collect that one from his cornerback Aaron Costello, the man from Kilmallock, just making his debut here tonight.
And he's had a very solid debut now. If we judged on mistakes, that's probably his first one. We've seen him making a couple of crucial blocks in the first half. One in particular on Mark Keogh probably saved a certain goal, so he can be happy so far with his night's work. But of course, in hurling, your night's work is never done. You're nearly in the dressing room. Okay,
a renowned man marker in action with Kilmallock, and a renowned score taker, an artist at work. That man is Jason Ford from Silvermines. Quite night by his standard set last week, Anthony, but that's another touch of class.
Absolutely, and we said he might go for one early in the first half and it just tailed wide, but that's, he has incredible hands, and there was a badly needed score from a tip point of view.
Okay, another score effort coming from Limerick man, but that one is trailed wide from the centre forward David Reedy. Sub being warmed up there for Tipperary. It's the man wearing number 22, Cian Darcy, Kill Ruan McDonough's, and he's replacing number 13, Jerome Cahill, who of course suffered that bang there a few moments ago, and obviously the medical staff etc. felt that it was probably safer to bring him off. Latest, by the way, from the action down in Mallow, Brian Walsh after scoring a goal for Cork, and that's pushed them into a 116 to 7-point lead against Kerry in the Co-op Superstore Munster Senior Hurling League clash, which is taking place down in Mallow tonight. Kieran Kingston, were you surprised with him making a return, Anto?
A little bit, I suppose. Reasons given for him quitting. I'd have massive respect for him. I think he's a tremendous guy, but looking at his backroom team, he's assembled some cast around him, and I think they'll have a serious say in things with that setup. Players need to respond to that now, and give them everything. But yeah, you would. Cork have so much talent, so. What a Munster Championship we're in for, when you think about it.
Munster Championship indeed we're in for. Even if tonight is anything to go by with the heat on show here, Alan Flynn, the wing back, getting a shot away, but a bit of a shot to nothing. Should be easy peasy for the goalkeeper Barry Hennessy, going short, eventually finding its way to the centre back, who instead offloads it to his wing back, and finding it all the way here to Tom Morrissey from a hand, and Morrissey finds no target.
No, and two kind of poor enough wides. I suppose. Look, we'll understand the time of the year as well. But David Reedy won, Tom Morrissey won there. That probably would have put them in complete command, but not quite. Great work from Paddy O'Loughlin, charging upfield, and a good pass. Yeah,
O'Loughlin again on the ball there. This time finding Darragh Donovan going a bit shorter. Nice ball by him as far as Morrissey. Morrissey opting on this occasion to get it into his corner forward Adrian Breen, who's gone a bit quieter since scoring that goal in the first half, or maybe that's more to do with the Tipperary defending on him. Worked out as far as David Dempsey. Here comes Breen, shot by Breen. That's a wonderful piece of defending came across there. It was Barry Heffernan, I think, in the end that knocked it out for a 65, but just goes to show Breen had gone a bit quiet and in a flick of an eye almost got in.
Absolutely, and great vision by Dempsey, and Breen, Craig Morgan has moved over on him, I think, and he's really impressed me as a defender, I have to say. I think he really looks one that'll push for his place hard on this tip team.
Was captain, I think, was he with the under-20s this year?
He was captain of the 20s, yeah, and I know it very well got in Kilruan McDonough's, who really are an up-and-coming club in North Tip, and obviously have a great tradition as well. I don't mean an up-and-coming club, like their history is incredible, but he has put great bit of work there by the Tuna Piercing men to set up the chance.
But unfortunately, David
really
can't.
misses the 65, all right, but what a great vision by Dempsey. They're used to doing it as well.
Tom Condon is the man making way, and it's Brian O'Grady from Kilteely Drumkeen who's the man that's coming in, and I think that's going to be a debut for him as well too.
And a great round of applause for the old dog for the long row, like Tom Condon, like what service he has given to that green and white jersey, and willing and able as always, and John Kiley.
10 years with the seniors, and I discovered earlier tonight, played in an All-Ireland minor final in 2005, defeated by a Joe Canning inspired Galway.
And you can imagine that at minor level what that was like, but look at a fantastic warrior for Limerick for years and years, and maybe not quite on the first 15 last couple of years, but vital interception right at the death in the All-Ireland final 2 years ago. So
we'll always be remembered for that. Brian Ryan, the man from South Liberties, is the man in possession. He's going to fancy his chances from distance. Does the umpire agree with him? No, yet another wide, and that's about 3 in a row. Another sub being brought on. The two benches are running in tandem here at the moment. It's Jason Ryan from Tumivara is the man that's coming on, and it looks to be Robert Byrne, the man in the red helmet from Portroe. Must say caught the eye last week in Nina. Solid operator, and he's been called ashore.
Yeah, I'd say a decent game as well tonight, and obviously, that Liam wants to have a look at lads as well, so Jason Ryan from Toom slots in there at wing back, and Robert Byrne he'd know all about, club mate of his and that, but they obviously want to have a look as well. You can hear Liam now shouting him on down below that he wants to see a finish like he saw to the first half.
A bit of treatment going on down there for Craig Morgan, but he's back on his feet. Interesting, Paul Maher has decided against the short route, is going long. And the ball managing to find its way to Willie Connors. Great pace by Connors and a nice offload by him in as far as Paul Flynn. And that's another score there for Tipperary, 114 to 112. Another sub, by the way, while all of that is happening for Tipperary, number 4. And that is the aforementioned Craig Morgan, who got that little bang a few moments ago. And Paul Maher from Kilsheal and Kilcash is the man that's coming on. That means we'll have 2 Paul Mahers on the team. The other Paul Maher is the goalkeeper from Moyne Temple Toohey, and this Paul Maher also a very talented footballer, is a member of the Tipperary senior football panel as well.
Yeah, and probably would come from football country, but I've watched him coming up along as well at underage. Has always been tenacious and a good defender. Morgan obviously picked up a cramp. Tip kind of finding their feet again now in the second half. Those couple of Limerick wides hurting them. And
your man John McGrath, the man that was driving them on just after the break, is doing it again, and he's cut the gap to a point, 114 to 113.
Brilliant score off his left column, left or right. John McGrath, what a player. Just has to be completely man marked, while Paddy Loughlin's doing a lot of good hurling himself. Used to be very careful. John McGrath, brilliant guy to find space and work tirelessly for his team.
Bit of space opening up here in front of us with the wing back there, Paddy O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin from 65 yards out. That'll be some score. That is some score. Paddy O'Loughlin, the man from Kilmallock, breakthrough last year. And I'll tell you, he's breaking through tonight for us. And from the resultant puck out, straight out over the sideline. Advantage Limerick yet again.
Yeah, great score by Paddy. They're marking each other, John McGrath himself. And, John obviously went deep looking for that ball, and didn't quite go his way, and Darragh Donovan, I think, quickly, he has distributed some amount of ball tonight and spotted Paddy, and we've seen a few pot shots going astray the last while, but that's a great effort from Paddy O'Loughlin from his own half.
You're watching the Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash of Tipperary and Limerick. That is a fantastic piece of skill there, being collected by the man wearing number 21 there. That's Tom Morrissey from Mahan, but opts to go all the way back out the field, and that's a shot from distance, and that's a fine score by Dan Morrissey, another man from Mahan, another man wearing a yellow helmet tonight. And as Dalo says, the old dog for the long road.
Absolutely, and both wing backs coming up with 2 massive scores there, brother to brother there, Tom back to Dan, and that's probably your best option at times, the ball behind you, a free shot, and a fantastic catch again by Dan, setting up Limerick again to burst forward.
And he's going with youth to Barry Nash, and Barry taking it off offloading it there to the man wearing number 23. That was Brian Ryan from South Liberties, a fellow clubmate of his. That one has gone wide, but as Dalo said, something to see when your two wing backs come up and produce the big score, showing the forwards how it's done, and that's pushed it to 116 to 113. Chance here though now for Tipperary as the ball is broken through to one of their substitutes. The shot and a great save by the goalkeeper, straight at the goalkeeper admittedly, but still a super save. Cian Darcy, the man from Kilruan McDonough, was the man who unleashed the shot, and for the second time tonight Hennessy was standing firm and upright and managed to knock it out there for a 65. But I think an inter-county forward, you would be expecting a better placement there, Dalo.
Yeah, well, look, it's probably a very similar chance to what Limerick scored their goal off in the first half, and Darcy has that blistering pace. He was going to get the shot away. Credit to keeper as well, though. He really stood up to it. Like a lot of goalies this time of the year, maybe be going for cover, but Barry stood tall there and saved the day for Limerick.
Jason Ford from Silver Mines with the resultant 65, and he's driven it wide, something you don't see that often.
No, it's probably double boost for Limerick then as well. The 65 doesn't go over, you expect them to be scored at this stage.
Maher going short, and it's some show of Nash's talent that he was able to control the ball coming in at speed. A Tipperary man coming behind him, some vote of confidence in him. I'm sure John Kiley will be very impressed with young Nash. Of course, came on as a sub last year in the All-Ireland semi-final defeat after Declan Hannon going off injured.
Yeah, I was really impressed with him that day. Chance for Flanagan
Off the left, Flanagan straight over the crossbar, and that's pushed it out to a 4-point game, 117 to 113.
And you have to give awful credit to Flanagan for that catch and finish. That's really top class, brilliant free. But you have to give credit to Nash for winning that free initially. That's what it's all about, is those little things create those chances at the other end, and that's what win and lose the big tight battles between two powerhouses of hurling, the last two All-Ireland champions. Nights like this, a bit different, great finish, but I'd go back to the Barry Nash winning the dirty ball and winning the free.
Another sub being warmed up in front of us. It's Mark Quinlan from Gary Spillane, and we're back with the action with Seamus Flanagan 21 yards out, and Flanagan over the crossbar, and it's been all Limerick for the last couple of minutes, all on the back of that save by the goalkeeper Barry Hennessy down there. Miss 65 then, as Dalo said, super piece of skill there by Barry Nash, and has led to 2 scores in a row. Substitute Paddy O'Loughlin is coming off and will be happy with his night's work.
Job done for him, and it looks good for Limerick now. As you said, Barry Hennessy save, I think, could be the crucial moment of this game, but who knows what we can have coming down the stretch again.
It's 118 to 113 here in the LIT Gaelic grounds. That one trickles over the crossbar. Goalkeeper Barry Hennessy trying to do his best Brian Hogan impression and bring it down. Didn't work for him on this occasion, and that's 118 to 114 here. Latest, by the way, from Mallow, it's Cork, 1 goal and 19 points. Kerry 9 points with 15 minutes gone in the second half there. Back with the action here. Great piece of skill, great block down by the defender there, Dan Morrissey, to stop a certain score, it seemed. But a free been awarded for Cian Darcy, who's trying to barrel through the man who got that shot a few moments ago. Looked like he had goal written all over it, but Hennessy denying him there.
Yeah, he does bring you that extra bit of pace up front though, and again, we missed the goal chance maybe, but showed his pace on that occasion, and then showed it again there. Just the initial couple of steps, he has that lightning bit of speed. Couple of problems for Aaron Costello since he came on him, as opposed to early on in the game.
Jason Ford, strangely, for a man of his talents, missing that 65 a few moments ago. And it wasn't a crazy angle by any manner of means, but the radar has been restored, and he's popped that one over. 118 to 115 reads the scoreboard at the LIT Gaelic grounds tonight in this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash. If you are watching around the world on the Examiner's website, on Facebook Live, on the Munster Council website, please do get in touch. We'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts on a defensive error making life very difficult for Paul Maher. Is there a goal chance? And it is in the back of the net eventually, at about the second or third time of asking David Dempsey from the Piercing, eventually applying the touch. But what sort of a back pass was that?
Yeah, just sloppy, and Seamus Flanagan reacted, and Paul Maher did very well initially, but Dempsey just followed up, and probably the killer score now from a Limerick point of view. Should see them home, like, but just a bit of opportunism and well followed up by David Dempsey, who's been very busy since he came on, I have to say.
Limerick tails certainly up, and here comes another goal chance. It's Adrian Breen opts to go for the point and slots that one confidently over. Probably the right decision as well. 2 goals in 19 to 115.
Yeah, look, just a turning of things. You know, a great ball in again, and Breen has been very sharp. Their inside line has been very sharp all night.
Yeah, Cian Darcy is the man who's going after the ball here. How Tip badly need a goal. Not going to get it though on that occasion, straight at the goalkeeper, but he was fouled as he was running through there, and that's going to be free, maybe 21 yards out for the men from Tipperary.
Yeah, look, it's probably writing on the wall at this stage, but Liam Sheedy will certainly say Cian Darcy has had a major impact on the game. Might have had to define an impact if he'd nailed the goal, but hasn't put his head down and again drawn the free there with a great run. And as I said, he has that burst of electric pace in the first few strides.
Jason is standing over this one. So 219 to 115 the score here in the LIT Gaelic grounds. Of concern from a Limerick perspective is the fact that Aaron Costello is limping quite heavily there. We'll see how much more is left in him. Shot an effort by Ford. I was just going to ask you, Dalo, would you go for the goal? Ford obviously thought there was an opening there, but keeper Hennessy got down quite well. I must say he's been quite impressive tonight. Yeah,
very impressive, very brave and all action, and is not afraid. We saw him coming off his line in the first half, and he's good and lively, and what cover he is for Nicky Quaid, or is he going to push for his place? I'm sure every number 16 in the country wants to show that they're number 1, and he's certainly putting his hand up tonight.
Yeah, interesting number 16 on the Limerick bench tonight, Jason Gillan from Patrick's Well.
Yeah, Jason would have been in goal for the Well winning the championship this year, but unfortunately missed out. Was corner forward, and Brian Murray
picked up an injury
down before they played Ballygunner, and Jason went back to goal. But Jason would have been sub-goalie for Limerick Minors, and would have a good eye, very skillful like his brother, and would be cover for that position as well as I suppose trying to push his way for maybe a shot at it out the field.
We've seen many goalkeepers showing their talents as outfield players. Anthony Nash, of course, is well capable footballer as well too. But interesting, as you said, number 16 anyway tonight. One of the Gillan clan coming together there. It's going to be a free in for Tipperary just on the halfway line, and it's Jason Ford from Silvermines will be taking this one. 2 goals and 19 points to 1 goal and 15. Jason has been one of the central figures for Tipperary tonight, but definitely not as influential as he was in the game against Clare last week in Nina, which resulted in victory for the Banner. On this occasion though, straight in front of the goals and straight over the crossbar, and that's pushed it out for him. Another substitution now coming on. It's Conor Hammersley is coming on, and he is replacing, it looks to be, is it the Michael Breen, the midfielder.
Yeah, one of the Hammersley clan from Clonalty. So Tipperary champions 2018, so obviously in Liam's radar as well, so he's getting a look at a good few lads tonight as well.
Yep, and John Kiley obviously has had a good run through his bench as well too, and he will be happy with the end result tonight. Another score coming for Limerick. On occasion it looked to be one of the subs. I think it was Tom Morrissey in the end. It was Tom Morrissey from Mahan. So many yellow helmets out there tonight, trying to differentiate between Tom and Seamus Flanagan, but it was Tom who got the score there. Foul committed, and it's going to be another free for Tipperary and another free for Jason Ford.
Yeah, great catch by John McGrath. And I suppose a lot of lads would maybe say game up at this stage with John, personal pride and keeping the fight going.
John Kiley and his management team here to the left of us, and just to the right, just about 10 yards behind where Jason is Tommy Dunn and Liam Sheedy. And there's Jason's effort, and that's after trailing about 5 yards to the left and 5 yards wide. 3 minutes of additional time to come, according to the fourth official. And it's Limerick 2 goals and 20 points, Tipperary 1 goal and 16 in this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League. An entertaining Munster Senior Hurling League clash in the LIT Gaelic grounds this evening. That ball finding the Limerick 23. That man is Brian Ryan, and Brian Ryan from South Liberties putting that one over. Kind of bypassed about 3 or 4 different players and kind of, I think, fell to him by accident.
Well, Reedy got a touch to him, out to him, and saw him on the overlap, and he'd be delighted with that because he's had 2 wides before that, and all forwards to register on that score, and he's been very much involved in the play since he came in, but he'd be delighted to get his name and see him back here now helping out the defence as well.
Yeah, I think a bit of a dink pass there didn't come off there, but instead it's Limerick's Mike Quinlan. And from Gary Spillane who's getting on the ball. So important for a lot of these French players to do something in the few minutes they're on. Adrian Breen, who scored the goal, and Adrian Breen is adding another point to his tally tonight.
Absolutely, and I mean, we often wondered maybe why he hasn't been starting with Limerick, because he's been so good for the Piercing, and said then Piercing probably would have 6 inter-county forwards most times. You look at them, and he would be equally as comfortable as anyone. So. He's really saying to John Kiley tonight, look at John, keep me in your head because I want to be there.
What's impressed as well too with the likes of Adrian is, a guy can be out of the game for 10 minutes and then in that 60 seconds.
But that's what all the great corner forwards will bring. They mightn't be necessarily involved, but they're always razor sharp when that chance comes. But it's some shooting for the time of year, 222.
And with last week as well too.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about it, would say, this time of the year you wouldn't contemplate 222 being put up, but that's great scoring. I would have said 116 was good scoring, but 222 is exceptional for the time of year.
Just to explain the hold up here, John McGrath's helmet coming off. There was a problem with the strap, so we just had to wait until a replacement helmet was produced, and he now has it on. And referee Tom Walsh, who's added to a good game tonight, it must be stated, getting play underway again. Bit of a coming together, as they said, in a space of ground where you wouldn't be growing too many heads of many heads of cabbage. And again, referee just happy to let it go and see what comes of it. And in the end, it's Darcy who manages to squirrel it out. And Darcy a shot off the right, and that's a fine score from him. Had the goal chance a few moments ago, but as Dalo said, man has electric pace and has an eye for the target as well.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing. Okay, some lads in the stand might say, look, he missed a chance to put us level, but he has been involved in everything good they've done in the second half, really.
Some French players, as I said, doing their causes no harm tonight. Sent forward there, David Reedy. Found out though eventually by Alan Flynn, and a free being awarded for high arm. Flynn in a rush to get it in as quickly as possible, but doesn't look like anyone down there apart from the cornerback. Somehow manages to get into the full forward to Jason Ford. Still Ford opts to go football wise with the kick. Won't be winning any All-Irelands though with that kick, and the referee with that blows the final whistle. 2 goals and 22 points to 1 goal and 17, the final score in this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League. The 2 managers down there.
A happy Christmas eventually.
A happy Christmas eventually. All smiles down there on the sideline, but I wonder, will there be all smiles in the Tipperary camp as they prepare for their team holiday in the coming days?
I'd say, look, Colm overall, Liam won't be in any way panicking or anything like that. He sure, look, they're only going off on their holiday now, so after getting 2 major battles into them in the space of a week, so in that sense he'll be happy. But look, Limerick just wanted that little bit more tonight. I think they took their chances. They were more economic and deservedly get the win under their belt. And look, nobody's going to be overly upset, but at the same time, John Kiley's obviously out to great year last year. You consider winning the league, winning the Munster Championship, but ultimately that's where Limerick Hurling is at now. They're thinking All Ireland, so that's what he's putting up to all these guys. If you want to be involved, you've got to step up on nights like this, and a lot of them certainly did tonight. As you said, phenomenal scoring tonight, Anthony. A blistering start to the second half. John McGrath was hauling Tipperary back into it. They were 4 points down. He scored 1-1, brought it back level. What happened then? Why didn't Tip drive on?
Yeah, well, look, I suppose Limerick were the dominant force for
20-25 minutes of the first half, you'd have to say, and we're 7, maybe 8 ahead at one stage, Colm. I think definitely 7 anyway. And you could sense that the Limerick bench, or the Tipperary bench, was getting animated, and certainly Tommy was on the field a good bit, and getting them to lift it and up it, and Limerick conceded a couple of frees just before, got 3 in a row, and it's back to game on really. Got it back to level after the goal then. So yeah, but in fairness to Limerick, I think they're maybe that little bit fitter, might have a little bit more work done. Obviously we know winning the All-Ireland entails a bit of extra duties on and off the field.
Yeah.
So yeah, Limerick probably a little bank of work put in, and that probably stood to them eventually.
And just to explain to people, Anthony, just from your perspective as a player back in 95 and 97 and everything like that, people talk about the celebrations and all of that, that's one thing, but all those duties, all those events, all those gatherings, all those trips with the cup, they do take its toll.
Absolutely. And you mightn't, probably in our day, look, there's a good scatter of pints involved. I suppose you weren't really thinking about too much, like the league wouldn't be starting until mid-February at least, but everything is so condensed now, so there wouldn't be, it's not the intake of alcohol or stuff like that, but it's just the draining fashion of going around with the cup. But it is so important as well, especially things like the schools. I mean, they're absolutely crucial, and the likes of Liam and all the players will be so conscious that they'll have remembered the cup coming to their school when they were young lads, and so that's crucially important. But it's the other stuff, I suppose. It's bringing, functions have to be attended, and there's awards and stuff like that, and there's trips. I know there's a few of them in New York a couple of weekends ago. So all that takes a little bit out of the system. They'll go off on their holiday now, and if I know Liam, it'll be their head down after that. And that's it. You'll enjoy the holiday, and by God, when you come back, it'll be game on, head down, absolute total work. So you've got to be ready for ultimately you've got to be ready for the 10th of May, that's so near. When you think about it, we other years you'd be thinking, maybe the last Sunday in May, if you were lucky with the draw in Munster, and in the semi-final, maybe the middle Sunday in June. But, the time is so condensed now that you just got to be ready.
These are the 2 All-Ireland champions of the last 2 years. This time last year, you wrote a piece in the Irish Examiner, but just looking through the files and St. Stephen's Day, Limerick will win more All-Ireland titles, but they won't win it in 2019. Your words were prophetic. Do you still hold out, though, that they will be back there?
I think, look, any team with the talent, any squad that has the talent that's available to John Kiley, I would certainly be expecting more All-Irelands for people like Keane Lynch, Tom Morrissey. We saw how impressive he was there tonight, lads like that, I don't think they'll finish on 1 All-Ireland medal. That bank of talent, look, at every year is crucial though, and they were very close last year after the Munster final. Everyone had them as complete rage and favourites, and Kilkenny came and kind of stung them with their ferocity in the early stages of that semi-final. So even though they knew that was coming after Kilkenny, doing the same to Cork really, so they just couldn't match it. So maybe that's maybe the year before taking its toll as well, and there'll be a freshness and a hunger about Limerick, and I'd say they'll be definitely in the 3 coming out of Munster. And ultimately at the moment, Colm, that's all you're looking to be in at the moment. You're not really thinking about All-Irelands, you're thinking, can I get in that 3 in Munster? Because anything is available to you after that, as we saw last year. I mean, Kilkenny, losing the Leinster final, you'd say, would they be in the All-Ireland? You wouldn't, but 2 massive victories then, and unfortunately for them it went a bit wrong in the final, but it's getting out of your province is so competitive.
What about the home county and your old pal Brian Lohan?
Yeah, look at her. I mean, it's early days and probably a late start with the system. Wasn't ideal, I suppose, in putting him in place. Look, that's been well documented now. That's history. No one wants to go there again. Look, there's a good management team in place. Look, we had the 2 boys had the 3 years. Very unlucky in 18. Width of a post, as people say, that chance that Aaron Shanahan had for being in a final with Limerick, and as we all know, that could have gone either way. I suppose Limerick would deserve champions, but yeah, Brian, the talent is there, I think, and Brian will be straightforward. If fellas are looking for frills and all that, there might be a bit less on the ground than there would be with some other managements maybe around the country or with Clare, but by God, what you see is what you get with Brian. He'll give it 110%, and his backroom team will do the same, and they'll drive that thing. And again, Clare, would be feeling they have to be in that 3. But you look at Waterford, even Liam Cahill, Mikey Bevan's gone in there, and you look at the success they've brought to Tip at underage level. Cork, we just mentioned during the commentary, Kieran gone back, and the 2 we've watched tonight, try and pick 3 out of that. I tell you, you'd be better off going to bingo maybe.
Well, I'll tell you, we're in December, as I said, shortest day of the year tomorrow. Appetite whetted for the Munster Championship in 2020.
Absolutely brilliant to watch that tonight. All week you're kind of saying, is this right really? Playing the Friday night before Christmas Day over Wednesday, but come in here tonight and there's a buzz around the place. And you could sense it before the game even. Tip coming to town, Limerick never wanted to let that one go past them. So yeah, look at people going home happy. Liam Sheedy won't be overly worried. A lot of stuff to happen, and these 2 will clash again in a big way.
Okay, well, a very enjoyable spectacle, made all the more enjoyable by your company up here in the commentary box tonight, Dalo, so
cheers,
thanks
Phil.
indeed. That is where we're going to have to leave it from this Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League clash in the LIT Gaelic grounds. Victory for Limerick over Tipperary. And as we said, we're all looking forward now to 2020. That is where we're going to have to leave it for tonight. Our thanks to all the crew here, to Jack and Raf on the techniques, to Dalo working hard in core commentary, and thank you for watching at home, wherever you are around the world. All that remains for me is to wish you all a very peaceful, safe and happy Christmas.